Today's show is brought to you by Win the Race, the NASCAR strategy platform built for fans who want more than picks. From 100,000 race simulations and pro-level DFS tools to advanced driver and track analytics, Win the Race helps you think like a race strategist, not a spectator. Learn more at wintherace.info.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 45 of the draft. Tonight, we'll be drafting our teams for the Goodyear 400 at Darlington Raceway. One that I'm very excited about. I know you guys are very excited about it as well. There's a lot of talk about tire wear, something that if you listen to this show, that we love. I really love it. I love the comers, the goers. It just makes the race way more exciting. It's going to be awesome. We got a triple header, too. Trucks are back. Phil, trucks are back. There we go.
Yeah, baby.
And then the odds just dropped an hour before we actually a couple hours ago they dropped now. So we got a couple plays we can talk about tonight, at the end of the show or something. But yeah, boys, it's good to see you. We got Chris from Flag Hunting back here again. You have beaten us in the draft before, so this isn't your first rodeo. Chris, I'll kick it to you first. How are you feeling? I know you had a big week last week too. It was a good betting week for a lot of people on Win the Race, myself included. I know you had a huge week. How are you feeling, man?
Listen, vibes are high. I had a very Chase Briscoe start to the season betting where I was really down. I was down bad the first few weeks, which was rough as a Reddick fan because happy for him, but sad because my pockets were empty. And then we've turned it around the last 2 weeks, and it's been great. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. Different vibes tonight than normal. Normally I'm filling in for Phil. Now I'm Phil's rival number one. So here we go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you've done really well on here, so I don't need to tell you how the game's played. We'll let you try to figure that out for yourself. We do have some new rules this year, so it'll be fun to see how you handle that bonus pick at the end. Tino, I'll kick it to you. How are you feeling tonight?
Feeling great. Got my Darlington stripe out of the way. Feeling good about locking in with the boys here. Had a great week. Where were we? Vegas, of course. I thought the racing could have been a little bit better in terms of the package they brought there. Denny dominated. But in terms of the bets did well. Talked about some of the prompts. Our boy Zach in the chat, he's hyped up as he should be. Ty Gibbs continuing his strong run to the season. Bunch of top fives for him. And it's been someone that, honestly, to have a good little segue here with Ty Gibbs, I can count on him. I'm impressed by him. I feel confident betting on him. And maybe that's something we talk about during the show as well. So I thought Vegas went really well for me, and some of the plays we had. And obviously I did win last weekend too, so that helps it even more when you win the draft.
Yeah, I've already taken Ty Gibbs top 10 this week. Just get into it before the show even gets started. Plus 165, Ty Gibbs top 10. That's what I'm rolling with as of right now. Got a couple winners too. We'll save those for later. Phil, how you feeling tonight? Trucks are back. You got to be pumped.
Feeling great. Yeah. Trucks are back. Couldn't be more pumped about that being on a Friday night here. March Madness. It's just going to be a hell of a viewing weekend. That's for sure. And yeah, I am also in on Ty Gibbs plus 165 top 10. That is a bet that has been placed. So shout out Zach. Pumped to be here. Pumped to have Chris here. Little tear to my eye knowing that I had to compete against him. He was a big part of the championship last week. I think I offered him a ring. He didn't want it in the off season. I don't know if that's memory is correct, but I think, he should get one because there's big help. Now he called me rival number one. This is like Chastain and Suarez, I guess. I don't know. But, we'll see how tonight goes. And I'm just as excited for this race as everybody else. Seems like each race we've gone to since COTA, the excitement level has been very high. So we'll eventually have a downswing, but it's not this week.
No, I don't think it's coming for a little while here, looking at the schedule. I think we've got a lot of fun weeks ahead. We'll kick it to Tino real quick. We got to give him, his flowers for last week. Let's just pull this up. Boom. This is a big score. This is a
Huge.
big score. So, you had the Denny 70 that just really put it over the top. So just a big week. I do think it's hilarious that we all had Noah Gragson. We all did. Couldn't get away from it. I don't know why what we were thinking, but sheesh. We even said that at the end of the show too. It was two guys we were 100% on, Larson and Gragson or whatever it was. Just what are we doing? So, congrats,
Hey, I
Tino.
don't
We
mind.
donated-
I don't mind trying it out. Trying to, if that's our one time, at least we all went out in a blaze of glory there. And one and
Yeah.
done for Gregson, never going back. But the Denny play and the Priest play for me. I wanted to shout out my Priest play for last week too. I'm gonna give myself
Yeah.
props. Like that was definitely one that made me feel good about my overall draft.
Yeah, I think that we might hear some more about Priest later on tonight, so we'll get to that portion soon. All right, so what we'll do is a quick track preview. Darlington, this place is so much fun. Phil, why don't you let the people know what they can expect this weekend?
Sure thing. So we'll talk about why folks are excited if we haven't really hit on it just yet. But Darlington is a 1.366 mile egg-shaped oval, and it's got the nicknames because it's a very difficult racetrack to try to get a handle on. Veterans, usually step up here, suffer for these younger guys. But we got the front and back stretch 6 degrees, and the turns are about 23 to 25 degrees on turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the excitement is around the fact that we've got the 750 horsepower package in play here. This is a package that's supposed to promote tire wear, supposed to promote passing, and so for that reason, a lot of hype around it. I think Denny Hamlin hyped it up a little bit after the Phoenix race. He said Darlington's going to be nuts, so we got a lot of people excited to see what's going to happen here on Sunday for that 750 horsepower package. Races at 3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Practice of qualifying, very important for us as gamblers. 2:30 Saturday, and that should be on Prime. Stage breaks in this Goodyear 400, 90 in stage 1. We got 95 in stage 2 and 108 in stage 3, and that should add up to 293. And then as far as Goodyear, they ran these same tire last week, both left and right side tires at Vegas. They ran the left sides at Darlington last year, so they should be pretty familiar with the setup. The winner started on the pole 26 times. 61% of the time, the winner has started inside the top 5. And as Brian may touch on in a second, very important to start towards the front if you're not on the pole. Outside of the top 20, the winner has only started there 6 times. And the last time it happened, can anyone name that guy? Can anyone name him? Old school furniture row.
And
Regan
Smith.
2011. So it goes to show you how important it is to have a good starting position at this racetrack. The numbers and the percentages are definitely higher than other tracks. So yeah, that's what we got. And as far as manufacturer trends, it's a pretty even split in the next gen car. 3 Chevy wins, 3 Ford wins, and 2 Toyotas, and Toyota won the last 2. So yeah, that's what I got here for you for the track preview.
Yeah, I do think you're going to want to start up front. We've been talking about that in Discord all week. The winners are coming from the first 2 rows. I mean, that's where you want to be. And then shout out to Adam, Iowa, in our Discord. He posted the qualifying results and where they go out in the qualifying order. And we know this by now, but this really proves it when he shows this chart. But you want to go out late. So these guys that are going out late have a big advantage here to go out and qualify well. We looked at so Greg at Win the Race is also doing a qualifying simulation now. So not only do the races, but we're doing qualifying. Last week that helped lead me to hit Bell on the pole plus 750. So use it. I don't know. Check it out. It's in Discord. It's not something we have on the site yet. Still working through it. We're 2 weeks into it. So, but it's pretty cool, and the results seem pretty accurate. So, we'll keep using that moving forward. All right, if you are new to the draft, we're going to draft 1 driver from the 8 teams you see on the top, and then plus 1 bonus driver that's going to score 1.25x's points. We track it all and Win the Race. You can all draft there with us if you're on Win the Race. We're trying to, I think we're giving away $500 to the winner plus a free yearly membership at Win the Race too if you win. So come check it out. Even if you get in now, you can still play along. It's just fun to track it. Bragging rights essentially at this point if you didn't get in from the beginning. All right, let's head into it. By the way, the winner will donate. We'll pick a charity. Win the Race will donate to it. I meant to mention this. Tino, you picked St. Baldrick's Foundation, the one we did last year as well, right? Fighting children's cancer. So that's
Yes,
where Win the Race made the donation this week. Yeah, that's a good one. And I love that picture of you too as a young TP3.
Yeah, it was great to be able to participate in that myself. So have a little bit of a connection that resonated with me, and I mean, I always love to have the opportunity to win the draft at least once in March to get it out around the similar time for that specific donation there, because it is, around the St. Patty's Day, St. Baldrick's, similar theme going on around that whole same timeline. So it was cool to be able to do it again. And in fact, last year I won Vegas too, did the same donation. So it's back to back.
Oh, I didn't even realize it was Vegas last year too. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Well, let's get into it. That's enough small talk. We gotta get in here. We gotta take down this imposter, Chris. See if we can take him down. What I
One
like
of the
to
best
do,
guest drafters ever.
Yeah, he is. I will I'll lead this off because mine's pretty easy, and then I'm gonna kick it right to Chris to start this. So I'll bring up the draft board here. We're on 2311. That's where we're gonna start it out tonight. And mine's very simple. You're on Win the Race. You've seen the simulations. You've seen us talking about it in Discord. My first pick of the Darlington draft is going to be Tyler Reddick here. There's not much else to say other than, he's got the best true average running position here at Darlington over the last 4 races. He barely squeaks out as our favorite after simulating the race, but he is like fair at 4-1 or something. So, I mean, like, we have this guy winning quite often. He just needs, he's been so fast here. Just needs a couple things to go his way, and I think we could see him in victory lane this weekend. I've not bet this yet. I don't know if you guys have. I saw there's like a boost on Caesar 750. I can't get too much down on that, but it's enticing if someone out there can get whatever their unit size is on that. I would take 750. And I think he opened at that, and some people got it at that too. But I kind of was sleeping on that and have some other plays we'll talk about. Chris, I'm going to jump to you. Who do you got here for 2311?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a compelling argument, to be honest with you. There's 2 guys here I think that are very much in play. Both have great qualifying numbers here as well. Both have been ridiculously fast to start out the year. But this is just not a spot to go away from Tyler Reddick, especially with the speed we've seen from him all year. Granted, and this is like probably a top 3 track for him. And yeah, I mean, for me, for my own numbers, they ranked 2nd and 4th for me this week. So very much between him and Bubba, very, very close. If you look at the spring races as well, just parsing those out by themselves, also a very close in average finish. But yeah, the edge to me just still goes to Tyler Reddick based on the speed he's shown so far this year.
Yeah, and that's a really good point about this team, is that Bubba has just been incredibly strong. And like you said too, like, not surprised if he goes out there, even if he pulls it or just, qualifies top 5. We're not surprised at all the way that team's been humming to start the year here. Tino, I'm going to kick it over to you. What do you got for 2311 here?
Yeah, can't be different here in my opinion. Tyler Reddick for me. I wanted to see a stronger showing out of Bubba last weekend. I know different track, but in terms of just overall speed, I thought that's where he might have had the edge over Reddick, and didn't really get the vibes I was looking for there. So I'm going to be a little timid to kind of pick him again in certain situations, and I think this is one of them where I got to go with the old reliable at this track.
Perfect. Phil, what do you got here?
I have a pick, and then I have a potential rules question that we haven't come across. I didn't bring this up to the boys beforehand because I'm going Bubba Wallace here in this one. Bubba is someone that I've played for a top 10. And I just think, he is just on such a hot streak right now. Like, this team is on fire. You love seeing it. He's just racing free. And now he's coming to a track where he's very strong. In 8 races, he's got 1 top 5, 5 top 10 finishes. He's 6th in average finish compared to everyone in NASCAR with 12.3. He's had a stretch of 3 or 4 straight top 10s in the next gen car. And then what did he do last year? He got back onto that with another top 10 in the Southern 500 at the end of 2025. Toyota is strong here. His team is strong, 2311, and the 23 team specifically has been very strong. It's just, Bubba Wallace. Now here's the question. He's on baby watch. So do I get but do I get Corey Heim, wear a t-shirt just in case that's the ruling, or do I get to rearrange my draft if he gets pulled out for baby watch?
I think what's fair is you get the car.
Okay. Well, then that's why I wore Corey Heim. I don't have as much faith in Corey Heim, but it is what it is. Hopefully the baby can get here on Saturday or Monday or whatever. And
hey, man, it would be fun to see Heim in a Bubba prepped car though, just to see what it's like.
That's
would
why we
be
got the shirt on. Hopefully, a little
yeah.
juice
What if he
down there.
shocks the world here?
He should qualify. I guess Bubba would be the one to qualify, and then so you guys made the cases of this team as a whole organization being strong here. Well, we'll see if I don't get both of them.
Yeah, man, that'd be. I hope Bubba races, but if it's Heim, that'd be kind of fun. So wouldn't be mad at it. All right, let's jump to the next team here. We're going to a Ford team, Front Row Motorsports. This one always tough to pick. Phil, I'm actually going to let you lead this one off so you can't pivot on us again. So what do you got here?
All right, no more pivoting, but I think I learned my lesson last week. And you look at Zane Smith, he's my guy. I mean, he's like one of my favorite drivers, to be honest with you. I got his like diecast sitting on my work desk here every day. 36th place, 23rd, 12th, and 13th. Like he took a huge step forward in 2025, and just jumping over to Front Row from Spire, and just seeing what he's done the last at Vegas. Qualified well, ran well. Like he basically finished where he started essentially. And it's something that you want to see. He is on the upswing. I won't spend too much more talking about it because I have a feeling you guys might be on it as well.
Yeah, man, he's I'll just go ahead here because he's my pick as well. One thing that I like about Zane, not only what you did say it, but like as soon as he jumps to Front Row, he beats all these guys. 12th and 13th. That's better than anyone on his current team right now. But the hot start to the year, it's kind of a team thing. So we're at the 4-tire pit stops up on Win the Race right now. He's 13th best, just way ahead of his teammates. So, I mean, he's up there surrounded by, I don't know, he's beating Hendrick, Blaney, like some of the big teams, some RFK. I think, yeah, all RFK except for Buescher. So, yeah, I mean, he's up there. This team is just fast, in the pits, on the track, and he's good here. So, yeah, give me Zane.
I have a silly season question. When these guys are done, this group, I have a silly season question for Chris.
All right, sweet. I didn't take it yet, but I would shop it around. I don't mind a flyer on Zane top 10 or something this weekend. So, all right, Chris, what do you got?
Yeah, no reason to change it up here. Somebody just said in the chat about how the FRM is the most interesting pivotal point in this draft. I don't know that I agree. I think it is Zane until further notice. I mean, just the speed he's showing this year is unbelievable. I think, yes, these guys, like you look at these three guys, none of them are really great at Darlington, but none of the other two have done anything that would make me want to pick them in by any means. And we're not even talking about the fact that like Zane had legit borderline top 10 speed last week at Las Vegas as an FRM car. I mean, that's incredible. So Zane is pretty easy here for me.
Yeah, there's multiple weeks this year where he's shown top 15 speed.
Yeah.
Different places too. Like the team is I think they're just good right now. And Gilliland has like some finishes in the teens here. Like he's actually pretty consistent for a little while, but I just feel like that team has gotten worse. Like I'm kind of out on them for the time being. So Tino, don't mean to poo-poo your pick. If you're going with Gilliland, it'd actually be pretty smart to pivot here. So what do you got?
Now, the only cool thing I'll say about Todd Gilliland in terms of his car or race for this weekend is his car itself doing a little throwback, got a gold chrome number. That intrigued me to potentially grab him, but I'm going to go with Zane based off of his last two finishes at this track, a 13th and a 12th. Or maybe that's not the last two, but the last two times that he's finished inside the top 15 within the last three races here. To me, I think not only you guys all mentioned the speed from the season, I'm looking now taking that note, putting it based off of his prior results here at this track. It could be a great combo for a top 10.
Awesome. All right, let's jump to Hendrick.
Real quick. Silly season.
Oh, yeah,
question.
sorry. Go ahead. Silly season.
He signed a contract through 2026, multi-year, very gray. Do we see a world in which Zane Smith is driving the 2 car next year? Just throwing that out there. Because Hendrick's extension is through 2026. I don't think he's really doing much to really prove that he earns that seat. Zane Smith is doing so much with so little right now. It's a long way to go through the season, but he's been dicked around with his contract in the past. I don't see a problem with him dicking somebody else over to get one of the most sought after seats in the sport. So I don't know, just throwing that out there.
Does he go?
I think Hendrick's father works for Penske though. So
Not anymore.
He's back. No, he's back though.
Yeah, he's
He is
back.
He's back?
Yeah, he's
India.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
When he was
shit.
out, I would have agreed when he was out, but I think that's still I don't know. I could see him getting extended because of Dad.
It's a different role, but he is back. I don't know. I have this weird, like, I've been going back and forth in my head of like, are they waiting out Denny to retire and stick him in the 11, or is Denny just never going to let him go and he's going to make sure he keeps Reddick and Hymas his guys at 2311? You know, like.
Isn't Blaney's contract?
I was talking about Zane.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking Heim.
Zane.
Isn't Blaney's contract up soon too?
Well, they can't let him go.
I wouldn't, but like, I don't know, like, I don't know, like,
I don't know his contract situation. I have to imagine he's locked up for a little while, but I was looking for a better Ford ride for Zane Smith, and the 2-car appeared because Cindric's only signed through this year. So we will see if Daddy really does have much to do with it. So just throwing that out there. But anyway, we can.
I could see that if Penske wants to expand 4 cars.
But then they would pull in like Josh Berry, wouldn't he? Like he's committed to them.
They're I look at them as like how 2311 is with JGR partnership wise.
Okay. Well, I didn't mean to derail.
Blaney's long term. No, that's all right. It's fun to look this stuff up. I think Blaney's probably there for the next 10 years. He's locked in. Which is good.
Wait,
I mean,
people are saying you can't expand to 4 cars? Okay, that's on me. I thought okay, yeah. Damn.
The rules are just so dumb. It's tough to keep track of everything. Does RFK, when RFK has their 4th car race, how does that work? Someone can't go there, like Zane couldn't go to RFK?
I guess not permanently. I guess you needed to have that already.
Brad could retire. He could jump into the 6.
Yeah, you can run 4. You just can't have 4 charters.
I mean, you're gonna have some seats opening up eventually here. You're gonna have Logano, Denny, Brad. I mean, there's gonna be some good rides available.
Yeah.
But,
all right. Well,
let's get back to it. We can. Yeah, that's what we need. We need 2 shows a week. All right. So Hendricks, Chevy. Now we're gonna talk about some potential winners, not just front row. Just front row, but you know what I'm saying. So we got some big dogs here. I'll go ahead and lead this off and then let you guys dive into it here. I'm going to go with William Byron. Now, I'll also lead this off because I do want to pull up a chart that I didn't pull in here yet that I posted on Twitter, and I'll pull that up. But to me, it's like the most Chase Elliott and Phil Eastman chart in the world. Like this true correlation here. And I'm not saying, you're going to pick him or you have to pick him. I'm just saying when I looked at this, I was like, I think I know who Phil's going to pick tonight, but I could be totally wrong because there are some guys, the 2 other guys run up front here. So give me William Byron. I'll talk about him. Top 10s his last 2 spring races here. Brought an absolute dominant rocket here. Him and Larson are about tied for me here as far as just running up front. They've run over half their laps, inside the top 10 over the last 2 years here. They're just really, really good here, but have to get the finishes. Byron's gotten more finishes than Larson, so I went with Byron here. Now, I'm going to kick it to Tino. I'll let you talk. I'm going to mute it and pull up this chart here. So Tino, who do you got here for HMS?
Okay, perfect. I am as well going with William Byron, maybe make it easier for you as well. To me, when we factor in all of the crazy potential tire wear and stuff like that, and seeing how William Byron raced in this race last year, I know it's going to be different because no one could pass him. He had the dirty air was a major factor, which led him to dominate that race up until the very end. But I think that's something he can get back pretty easily based off of the raw speed setup they had in that car. And when it comes to tire wear, I think I trust him more than a Kyle Larson in terms of saving his stuff. For Larson, when you have the tire wear, slicker racetrack, and especially coming to Darlington, I think he will benefit from that because of things we see at Vegas or things we talk about in the past when it comes to the dirt track background and slipping and sliding over the track, finding the different grooves. But when it comes to preserving your stuff, I just feel like he's a guy that doesn't do that well because he's extra aggressive. So that's kind of my standpoint right now. I think as we move along during the show, I'll at least expand on that further based off of some of the stuff I'm looking at win the race to help me narrow down certain points when it comes to what's happening with the tire wear in this race. But I'm going Willie B for this one.
Yeah, I understand like exactly what you're saying, because like when we get to this track type, and we talked about it last week, like you said, you're like, oh yeah, maybe like the dirt guys, like need that control when you do lose a little bit of grip or whatever. Yes, but then we talk about Christopher Bell whenever that comes up.
Mhm.
Okay, well, Christopher Bell, I don't think he's never gone out and just dominated and won a Darlington race. Kyle Larson has gone out there and dominated Darlington races. Even in the races he didn't finish, he's gone out there and led a billion laps, and then something bad happened. But that's the thing, something bad happens. Chris Bell can just like be plodding along. And then if you look at his finishes, he gets the finishes here, but he's never like one of the dominant cars. So I think that's the difference there if you're looking at like two similar style drivers, if that makes sense. Chris, are you picking Chase Elliott? Or actually, I don't care. You go here, and then I have this graphic. So go ahead.
Okay. It's funny you say that because the two that I had written down coming in tonight were Byron or Chase, depending on how it felt to me. I had Byron written down, but in order to change things up here, I think I am actually going to go. Just kidding, I'm not. Don't write it yet. We're going to go Kyle Larson actually. And I'm going to go Kyle Larson because although he doesn't have the finish, you just said it right. He doesn't have the finishes, but he does run so well here, and that package, I think this package plays to his benefit. I actually disagree with Tino in the fact that I don't think Kyle Larson, like William Byron, can save better than Larson. I think Larson is one of the elites when it comes to saving tires, so I think he has the advantage there. Truthfully, my tiebreaker between going with Byron and Chase earlier was the last time I went to Darlington in person was the race that Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain were battling out the whole race. Ross cut in front of them. They wrecked each other, and then Byron kind of walks into a win. I was going to go with the whole, like, last time I was there, Byron's my guy. But truthfully, Larson was dominating that race. I'm going to go with a 5.
Beautiful. Are you going again are you driving down?
I'm thinking about it, truthfully.
Yeah,
I haven't committed yet, but I'm thinking about it. It's like a 2.5 hour drive. So
yeah, do it.
Yeah.
All right, Phil, we're going to you. I'm gonna pop up this graphic. No, you just pick. I'm so torn now because I don't want to sway you one way or the other. Pick your guy.
You're not going to sway me. You're not going to sway me because the way I won my one victory this year was I just went with the guys that I had written down. The guys I wanted, I went out and got. And but you could put the graphic up because it could help me, with this. So this is describing how Elliott, doesn't run all that well, but at the end, he's there. He's able to get the finishes. And it's also describing how Kyle Larson is always running up front. He's running, really fast and can't get the finishes. So I'm going to go with the Goldilocks pick here. Chase Elliott is too hot. Too hot. We got Kyle Larson, too cold. William Byron, just right. Willie B is someone that I have an outright on at 8-1. And why do I want to mess with worrying about Chase and seeing if he's going to be able to work his way up, even though he's running mid-pack? Why would I, want to put all my eggs in the Kyle Larson basket and hope that he can actually finish a spring race? So we're just going to go with William Byron, and it's for the reasons that, you guys had already said. By the way, his driver rating, if I'm going Chase versus, because I was a little tempted to go with Chase, but he's second in driver rating, William Byron, out of everyone in the next gen car at Darlington. And that's 107.7. Chase Elliott's 73 in driver rating. Like, that's such a huge difference. And I know we're not trying to put a ton of emphasis on like super past, in past history, but what else do we really have to go on when we're trying to make a point? And his spring races, he throws out one of the bad finishes from the Southern 500. So his average finish actually really improved. So, William Byron is just kind of the easy, steady pick for me at Hendrick. The only thing I have to worry about here is like his season so far, and I don't know if you guys agree, hasn't had that like sizzle that I really want. I just, there's something I can't put my finger on it, but he hasn't had that like, whoa, 24, he came to play. Hopefully this is a weekend, for those of us choosing him and betting on him, that he does bring it.
I think with the exception of Elliott last week, I think none of them have had that. Just it might be the new body thing, them trying to figure something out, but it's like, I don't know. Not too excited. Like it seems like the Toyotas are pretty dominant right now. And then when we went to Phoenix, it was just super predictable that it was Bell and Blaney's race, before it even started. So I don't know. Maybe we got to get to a different point in the schedule and let them figure it out a little bit more. Because I'll tell you what, what his sizzle might be? I didn't check the weather, but he's Mr. Cold Weather Martinsville. So let's see what happens when Byron gets there and see what the weather's like. All right. Let's jump to the Toyota team. Well, one of them, but I was talking about JGR. Before the show started, we went just ham talking about Denny Hamlin. Dude's just an absolute stud on this track type, at this track in particular. Total beast. I guess I'm not going to waste any time here then, too. Denny Hamlin is my pick. I imagine, one of you might have him for your bonus later, but I'm taking him here and going a different route there later. Best average finish here over the last 4 Darlington races with 4.75, which is pretty incredible. He's the only driver with a top 10 finish in all of those 4 races. He's been anticipating this fall off for a while. He's the one that's been talking about it, saying it could get up to 4 seconds. If you listen to, so I love the show Eric Estep's doing now with every winner. He does like a little 10 to 15 minute video with the winners after every race. And for a while, he was only talking to Tyler Reddick, but now we're starting to hear from some other people. And talked to Denny Hamlin last week, and it's just cool to listen to how much control he has over the car, like knowing exactly what to tell his team that he needs just from all his experience in all these years. So you remember like the extreme tire wear at Bristol that one time when the tires were falling apart, like just only a matter of time before Denny was out front dominating and won the race. He's just the guy that I would want to pick here. It's making me want to switch him to my bonus pick, but I'm just going to stand my ground. Give me Denny Hamlin here. Elite 4-tire stops too. 4-tire stops are going to be super important. I talked about how good Zane's team's been, but you're going to want that. So far, we have not picked a driver that has a poor 4-tire pit stop crew so far this year. So we're doing good there tonight. Phil, I'm going to jump back to you. What do you got here?
Yeah, I'd say that if this was last year's format, I'd have 3 Joe Gibbs Racing guys on my team. But it's not. So I got to go Denny Hamlin here because of all of those reasons. He's just so steady, and his numbers truly are unbelievable. And if you're worried about the 750 package changing things up, it seems like he's the guy that you trust most. A lot of hype for Gibbs. Obviously, I mentioned I'm on him in a top 10. Briscoe, I'll probably come back around to him in the Southern 500, honestly. Let him work these weird demons out that he's got going on right now. But right now, Denny Hamlin, lock me in. He's the guy.
Awesome. Tina, we'll just go straight across the board here. What you got?
Oh, baby. Well, I think when we get to JGR, the camp's looking very nice. There's a lot of drivers to choose from. One driver that I don't know if I've ever chosen for this team is one that deserves to be picked this week. Ty Gibbs.
There he is.
Riding the Sirius XM car. I hacked into the mainframe, threw the picture up there for everyone to see. To me, I think this is the week. And it's earlier than I would have thought, because Team 54 stand up. Zach, this one's for you. He gives me confidence. He's impressed me this season. Everything's going in the right direction. And now you give me the tire wear. Now you give me everything everyone's talking about this week. People are talking about potential new winners, guys that can step up. Well, why not Team 54 this week? And the reason is we go back to Bristol, but give me the first time Bristol tire wear really surprised everyone in 2024. The driver that was dominant up there with MTJ, up there with Denny Hamlin, was Ty Gibbs. He was leading a bunch of laps, could have won that race. And my biggest thing is when it was unexpected, they were able to be there. Didn't get to finish at the end, but he definitely could have won that race. And when we see more Bristol races, and I'm not trying to use that one based off of the track type, but more so the tire wear and the fall off that there was. This is where he prevailed. And so not only this, he's got some finishes at Darlington that really excite me in the spring race, not the fall, in which I don't even really want to look at the fall that much anyways. A, based off of the longer race that it is, and then B, with the playoffs being what they were. To me, a 9th place finish for Ty Gibbs, and then a 2nd here as well a couple of years back. That's what I like to see from him. He's had the momentum, he has the speed, and I think if you factor in the tire wear once again, he may prevail over those other drivers. So Team 54 also saying they're starting front row. I love it. If you can give me that pit crew with a good starting spot, I think the biggest thing I've seen from him, finishing where he started. Whether it's starting 5th, finishing 5th, or 7th, finishing 4th, whatever the case may be, that's what I really like to see. A driver that can start up front and finish there as well.
Yeah, man, I agree. It seems like he's really improving. The one thing that's impressing me this year is how he's handling the tire wear. He's not just falling back through the field. He's racing really well, taking care of his stuff. It could just be the overall mental of that team too. It seems like he's happy with the team that's around him right now. And then, like you said, full team sport, 4-tire pit stops going really well as well. So, you got to love a JGR pit crew. All 4 teams can bang them out fast. So. Ty Gibbs, great pick, top 10 plus 165. Told you I'm already on that. I'm with you. His 2 top 10s here, the last 2 spring races. So here we are in a spring race. Let's get it again. Chris, what do you got?
Yeah, these are all good picks. But you're forgetting who he won in an SHR car. He won in the 19 car here. The 19, Chase Briscoe. It's time. I mean, I need Brian to confirm this in the chat. I don't know if this was his interview or not from last week, but when Briscoe was talking about how excited he was for this race and how much sim time he's run and how hard it was going to be, I mean, the smile on his face, he was beaming. He just seemed like he was thrilled for this weekend. On top of that, the 2 races that he's won here, he started 2nd and 3rd. So if we get a good qualify from him, I think he's going out like 20. He's going out 14th last. So not quite as far down as I'd like for him to be.
Those are in there though. Like when you look at Adam's chart, they do have him like late 20s or whatever going out. That's kind of where he is. So should be fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is a guy that I think he loves this track. I think he's genuinely excited. Although he's had terrible luck, they've had amazing speed. They've had top 10 speed just about everywhere, it feels like. So yeah, I think Briscoe is going to be the guy this weekend.
That was my first bet of the week. Opened 11-1. I told Greg or someone or Adam or anyone, I was just like, if he's 10-1 or longer, auto bet for me. And opened at 11, took it immediately. So love Chase Briscoe here. That's great. Let's get to Penske. Jump back to a Ford team here. I think this is a very interesting team to talk about for this particular race. Phil, you are sometimes the Blaney whisperer. I'm going to jump to you here and see what you got for Team Penske. Well,
Tino requested to go first in the chat.
Oh, he did? Did I not hear that?
That was on our group text earlier in the week. So I'm gonna be a good guy.
Appreciate it.
And
Tino,
let that happen.
Tino, rip it, my friend. Is your boy, is McBride in here or what?
I hope so. I hope he's here for this because I got something to say about Team Penske this week.
All right.
When we go to new places, when we try out new things, when things may seem unpredictable or at least confusing for a lot of drivers, analysts, podcasters out there, there's one man that has prevailed every time on multiple different styles of racetrack, LA Clash, Bristol Dirt, Gateway. The winner of all 3 of those different things that were new was Joey Logano. Now, I may think that this is crazy myself, based off of how well Ryan Blaney was here last year, based off of all the tire wear that we're talking about, but I'm okay, because every time we didn't think about Joey Logano winning any of those races I just mentioned because it was a surprise to multiple people when those things happen. And then you're like, oh, Joey Logano, he's the king of the new stuff. And I look at this opportunity this weekend for a new style of, let's say, racing at Darlington, or at least one that a lot of drivers have shown their confusion about. So I think this is a chance Joey Logano steps up. I wanted to go first to be able to showcase the fact that I'm realizing this now before it happens. And hey, maybe Ryan Blaney prevails as he should, but Joey Logano in this situation, I can't pass him up.
Beautiful. I guess I can chime in here and tell you what my psychotic bet of the week is, which is, you said, like, when this guy shows up and no one expects it and he wins and it might drive people crazy. This has nothing to do with a Ford. It has nothing to do with Joey Logano himself other than what you just said there. But sicko Ryan Stevens has taken Austin Dillon 300-1 to win the race. Because why the not? He's 300-1. It doesn't matter. You can just put a cheeseburger on it, whatever you want to do. But his best average finish in the Cup Series lifetime is Homestead, Auto Club, Iowa, Richmond, Darlington, all the tracks, high tire wear. Where have we seen him winning lately? Richmond with some good tire wear at those races. I don't know. Call me crazy, but people thought it was crazy when he had one top 5 at Richmond in his career before he won there 2 times in a row or whatever it's been. So who knows, man? I think it's a fun week because of the unknowns to just throw a little something out there if you like to have fun when you're watching the race. And then next week when we get on this show, you can all make fun of me when he's running 25th to 28th all week long. That's fine. But at least it'll be fun. And maybe you get those surprises, like you said, when no one thinks Logano's going to win. He goes out there, does it, buries you. He's just done it way, way more than Austin Dillon has. But 300-1 for a reason. All right. Now everyone knows I'm crazy, certified. Phil, I'm going to kick it to you. What do you got for Penske?
Man, I'm actually kind of like thrown for a loop here because I can't believe Tino picked Logano, and I can't believe the chat's so heavy Blaney. Like, I'm blown away, actually. So I am absolutely unsure on who to pick.
Maybe the Austin Dillon thing kind of threw you for a loop too. That's my bad. And then the chat backing it up here too. They should lock me up.
No, I kind of had an inkling that you were going to mention that because you did mention it earlier. Look, I'm going to write down I'm going to go with who I had written down, and that's Joey Logano. I'm floored at how the chat is so heavily Blaney. It's not a landslide. Like, this is an absolute coin flip. This is somebody that does do well on these like weird tire wear situations. Like he could win one of those like wonky races, as Tino was kind of alluding to. But if you just go off of the stats from Darlington, it's Joey Logano. Like, Logano has him beat in average finish. He has him absolutely whipped in driver rating, 91 to like 77. He does have a victory here in the next gen car. They've got the same amount of top 10s. Okay. Logano's 5th in average finish, 6th in driver rating in the next gen car at Darlington. And then if you go to the comp tracks, which, I'm going off of the win the race, track comparison, so I'm looking at 12 specific races starting from this 2025 season, and Logano's 5th in those 12 races in driver rating. He beats Blaney, who's nowhere to be found in the top 10. And then he is 7th in driver rating in that, right behind Blaney. So it's someone who's able to actually get the finishes. I guess I was thrown off by how heavy the chat was. I didn't even consider Blaney for a bet this week or anything like that. I didn't even consider Penske. So that's, I'm just shocked if you can't tell.
Where I think the chat was at, not to cut you off, but because Big Ross saying like, and I agree with this, not when the tires matter. And Blaney did put some belt to ass in the final portion or section of the race last year. So I guess if I were to speak on behalf of chat, let me know if I'm wrong. I think their thought process is the long run tire saving fall off bit of Blaney.
That's what we heard last week too, and I was never on Blaney last week. But like, and he was never a factor, not even close.
Right.
So,
Right.
but again, to me, that's like another track he's just not good at. So I say all this, I'm taking Ryan Blaney here. I mean, I hear what Phil's saying, but Phil, might I
Well, of
remind
course
you,
you are.
might I remind you, Phil, what happens when you talk this
No, I
slander on
fucking
Ryan
know.
Blaney?
I know.
Yeah. We can't
Tino,
play the
roll
video
the clip.
anymore.
Roll the clip.
Yeah,
Tino's
we
not
can't
going to roll the
clip.
clip next time because he's with me on this one. So, I got him.
This is true. This is true. If anything, you want Tino on your side. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I didn't play the video on you. Tino hit play on that. Just remember that for our friendship's sake. All right. I'm Ryan Blaney. I mean, look, I think there's a wide range of outcomes. I don't think it. We know it. Like, he can finish top 5 or he can finish 35th. It's just what happens. And I know for this game, that is the risk that I, have played. And I might play again a little later with someone we'll talk about. But I don't know. It's supposed to be fun. I think Ryan Blaney, I have some data to point to here. Like, in the last 4 Darlington races, he's only one of 2 Fords that have ran over 50% of their laps inside the top 10. It's him and Chris Buescher. So, there is some good data to point here, recent data for Ryan Blaney, because I do think, like, we've noticed since they started all these tire changes and started making things a little different, Ford got a body change. I think all this stuff has added up to Blaney being different places. He's been good places that he hasn't historically been, and not going back to it again, but like, look at the road courses, just like things like that, where they're bringing a different style of speed. And so if he can just survive here, and again, the tire wear, I do love him. When tires wear, he comes up through the field. I like their strategy. A lot of times, he'll pit at different times so he can blow by the field, and that's great. But like, he also makes them last. So it's not like he's just burning them off and falling off at the end. I like Blaney here. I like Logano here, but I went with Ryan Blaney. I did have a feeling that some would pick Logano, so it might be a little different. Chris, where are you at here?
Yeah, I'm in Ryan Blaney camp as well. I don't mean to pump up Brian Twining's tires tonight, but if anyone was in the Discord last year, in the Win the Race Discord last year, I think Brian said this off. I think he said it so many times, it was like he felt like a broken record, but you can't take Blaney's stats from before 2025, because what he showed last year was he showed up at tracks he wasn't good at. And Ryan, you just kind of touched on that too, right? Road courses, the Homesteads, the Darlingtons, the tracks that he was never really good at, he showed incredible speed. If you look at true performance from last year, one of Ryan's great tools, he had the 3rd best true performance at Darlington last year. So although it is a coin flip based on historical numbers from 2025 forward, I think it's actually Blaney's a landslide, truthfully.
Yeah, and you just need to avoid the bombs, which you do with everybody. But we all know, we've seen Blaney like explode more times than not. At least it feels like that when you back him. So, all right, that'll be a fun team to track this weekend. Then split right down the middle.
Let me get one. Let me get one.
We're not
chat.
done with this. Go ahead.
No,
Go.
Elijah bringing up a great point. I would never trust right now Blaney's pit crew based off of all the stuff that's been happening with them. Yes, he did overcome it at Phoenix. I don't think you can overcome pit road penalties or bad pit stops at Darlington. We've mentioned that. They're going to have to be on their A game. I'd take anyone else's pit crew over Blaney's right now.
Well, I'll tell you one thing too. Joey Logano, 3rd best on Win the Race 4-tire stop so far in 2026. So that team's great. Blaney's also behind Hendrick. So yeah, I hear you there. 4-tire stops are going to be prevalent too. I mean, they will be making a ton of them this weekend, which is awesome, but might not be for him. So I hear both sides there. Let's jump to another Ford team. This is another team that I really like this weekend. I can't wait to hear what you guys pick and just talking about this Ford team, because I think they can be really strong here, especially if we see some tire wear. Phil, you talked about who were we talking about? Oh no. Who mentioned Briscoe and how excited he was? Is that you, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's like Ryan Preece. Like, Ryan Preece loves the extra horsepower, loves the tire wear, wants more of it. To me, like, I'm not picking him here, but I did pick RFK 15-1 to win this race. So that's another one of the bets that I have this weekend. I'll just go first. I'm picking Chris Buescher here. To me, this was tough, and I don't think any of the 3 guys are an incorrect pick. I just think, you need the one that kind of makes the best decision in stage 3 and has those fresher tires and can, finish well. But if they're all finishing top 10, I'm really not that surprised. Over the last 4 Darlington races, they're 4, 5, and 6 in the percentage of the laps they ran inside the top 10. That's only 2 Priest races I used in that because it's the RFK races, but still 4, 5, and 6 and the percentages of laps they're running inside the top 10. It's 3 top 10s for Chris Buescher, behind only Denny Hamlin in the last 4 races here. Yeah, and they've had a driver qualify in the front row back-to-back spring Darlington races. So, maybe he can do it. Buescher, I think, once pulled, Dover, high-banked track. Who knows? Maybe they can surprise here, qualify well, run up front all day. We talked about qualifying is going to matter here. That's where the winners are coming from recently. Tino, I'll kick it back to you. What do you got here?
Well, you put it quite nicely. One part that I would disagree with is the fact that there's no clear pick, because I do agree with Chris Buescher so heavily. That will be a driver that I bet on to win the race outright this weekend. I feel like although Priest has been strong, and he was my top 10 play of the week last week and just came up 1 position short at Vegas, when we factor in not only this track and how Buescher has raced there in the past, I do like the added addition now that we've been talking about with the tire wear and managing your stuff. I think he does that very well. I think one of the tracks that this mattered in a little bit was Kansas as well, right? In terms of at least the way that they're running there, we saw recently. And Buescher was obviously one of the best Kansas drivers we've seen, at least when we go there. So to me, I think it's Buescher by a clear margin, although I do like the other drivers at this track. And if we're going to pick one to win, I don't see Brad up there contending. And if people want to say Ryan Preece, I like that. I'm a Preece guy. I think he gets a top 10. But he doesn't have all of that experience racing towards the front of the field in terms of leading laps and winning. And I think that's what you're going to need to be very calculated, very strategic and tactical with your moves when you are leading this race, because any sort of mistake, I think it's just going to cost you the win and cost you time. So if I'm going to pick on one driver to make sure he's there the entire time, it's Buescher. And I do have one question for someone in the chat, and that's Brian, because he did mention before, and I just want clarification on what you mean by this, because he was boots on the ground last week and put out a bunch of great content. He said the tire and package isn't going to surprise anyone, but I thought I was hearing the drivers say, like, the fact they didn't know what to expect. So that's where I was saying that before. So I did want to sort of see what you meant by saying this. Just want clarification in terms of what you think the drivers do mean. Yeah.
I saw Buescher himself say today that they don't know what to expect in an interview. So I do think it will. I think they'll have some good answers, after practice and qualifying. So it might shock them more then, but we'll see. Yeah, I do love Buescher. I do think you're right. Like if Buescher wins, people are like, oh yeah. But if Keselowski or Priest win, it's like, whoa. And we say that, but Keselowski did win the spring race in 2024. So I mean, I don't know. He can do it. He's just got the leg thing going on, whatever else, I don't know. Phil, I'm going to kick it to you. What do you got here for RFK?
It's Chris Buescher. You guys have really hit the nail on the head. I'll say this, Ryan, you and I are very like-minded this week. I played RFK as a team. I got him at 13-1, but still pretty solid. And Buescher's my play here. I mean, last 3 races, 6th, and 10th. So he's just really stepped up, recently. So love to see it. And absolutely, I think he's the pick. I'll also say this. Kyle Robert on my last pick said Phil also doesn't consider fun. What do you mean? I'm not fun? What's that about?
You're the only one that's taken Buffalo Trace shots
fun
off
how?
the shelf.
Fun how? I don't amuse you. So I'll throw it over to Chris, see if he can complete the sweep here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to kind of play to the chat here and make them all happy and pick Priest, but it's just too hard. Buescher's just too good here. I think Robert just said it. The top 10s continue to pay. Buescher has I think it's 6 of the last 7 here. He's got top 10s. It is crazy though, how similar all these cars have been this year. I think Ryan I think he brought us up in Discord. They finished back to back last week, and the week before that they were 6th, 10th, and 11th. They're all basically the same car essentially. So I don't think there is a wrong answer here, but Buescher's just been too solid here to go against him. So the first sweep of the day, I think. Yep. Nope, Zane. Never mind.
Oh man, we always sweep front row. We'll never learn. We'll never learn. There's at least 3 of us on the show every week, and we will never learn together. That's good. This is actually a perfect segue. I got to go first here. Speaking of never learning, Carson Hocevar, baby. We're jumping to Spire, or not Carson Spire, Carson Hocevar, 4-team Spire here. Just something that I like to do to bury myself in these drafts. But, playing the numbers game here. McDowell won at Phoenix in this group. Suarez won this group last week. Maybe it's Hocevar's time. I don't know. But the most recent Darlington race might tell us most. He finished 9th there. It's the best finish of any of his teammates at Darlington over the last 2 years. So the upside is there. Just need this man to finish and not bury himself with me in the draft. Phil, I'm going to kick it right back to you. What do you got?
Yeah, this team sucks this week. And
Yeah,
I actually played against Hocevar in a head-to-head on my podcast, but I got to take him because I don't trust the other two as far as I can throw them on this track. So yeah, if you're going to cling to something, it's got to be his latest finish here. But I don't expect any of these guys to do anything. But I just got to hope that you guys choose Hocevar as well, so then I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's what I was praying for after I made my pick first. So thank you, Phil. Chris, kicking to you. What do you got?
I didn't expect you guys to go Hocevar, but that's what I had written down. And the exact quote I had, Phil kind of said the same thing, is this is about as bad as it gets, pick your poison, because they averaged like a 20th place finish here between the three of them. McDowell ran well here when he was in the 34, but since he's been in the 71, he hasn't finished better than 29th. So, yeah, I'm just going to trust the kid. I'm just going to hope that he can find speed and not screw himself.
I love that point about him switching teams and then just being crap here with Spire. That was like my final decider to just say, whatever, I'll take Hocevar again. So good work there. Tino, do we have a Carson Hocevar sweep here for Spire?
Well, the chat's making me laugh. Big Ross says, dude has no clue how to save tires. Team 54 saying, bro is about to definitely prove he isn't Dale Earnhardt this weekend. Mike Manning, Hocevar might run out of tires by stage 3. Iowa chiming in because Hocevar slander is unwarranted. It might be a little warranted, but I'm going to
He's
go
got his
with
weekly
Hocevar either way.
You're picking Hocevar? Yeah.
Yeah.
Iowa's got a 40-1 or 50-1 on Hocevar every week. Doesn't matter where we go. He just takes his money, puts it on the 40 or 50-1, calls it a week.
I think if we can all agree on Hocevar for the sweep, we can definitely agree the scheme will be dope this weekend. Agree with Elisha there. Because that's one of my favorite paint schemes of all time, that Dale Earnhardt blue and gold car. So it is, and you got Chili's on the hood, so at least that might be one. If I can pull off a little draft win, that might be diecast I might have to purchase or win or receive, because I just love Chili's and I like the way that the car looks this weekend too.
Quick sidebar, because we're getting up on an hour here, so we'll get through these last 2 rounds. But did you see the Hardee's Bubba Wallace car? Mm. That thing that's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know what? We should probably play him in the draft. Oh wait, I did. So looks like I got the paint scheme love on my roster this week, boys. Let's go.
I don't know. There's 4 bonus picks left.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Speaking of low, shout out the boy coming in the chat too, real quick. Just shout out Phil picking logs. Me and Phil. I'm getting on McBrien's good side now.
All right, this one, I did mention the time, and that's fine. If we go over an hour, it is what it is. But I do think this team is going to be pretty quick here. I'm Ross Chastain all the way. To me, it's just not even close. If you guys want to say your piece on it, you can. But he's one of 3 drivers with an average finish in the single digits over the last 4 races at Darlington, joining the company of Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin. So to me, you look at that and you look at how ass his 2 teammates are here, and you take Ross Chastain and don't look back. Are we all in agreement there, boys? And if anyone wants to speak up and talk about it, go ahead.
No, not at all. You said it best.
Ross Chastain.
Talking about him last week actually made me mad, because I tried to make a point like, maybe a top 10 in Vegas shows up really well here, but absolutely did nothing. So made me mad last week.
Yeah, and Ross is actually good here, and he's running the trucks too. So I like double duty type of weekend, get a little more track time. All right, bonus picks. We're gonna let Chris lead it off. Then we're gonna go to myself. Then we'll go to Phil. Then we'll go to Tino. Then we'll go to Phil. All right. Chris, what do you got here for your bonus pick?
Yeah, so I think it might have been Phil earlier mentioned if he could pick 3 JGR cars, he would. We can only pick 2. I think there's a guy that I didn't choose in the JGR camp that 2 of you guys did. It's the 11 car and Denny Hamlin. Ranked out first for me and for the numbers I put together on my end as well. On his podcast, I think Brian mentioned in the chat as well. In his podcast, he basically said he's going to win one of the next 4. He'd like to win 2 of the next 4, but he feels like the next 3 fit right in his wheelhouse. I tend to agree. I think Denny, he's also going to be the last one to go out and qualify this week. That's always a plus. So, yep, Denny Hamlin in the bonus spot. It worked for me last week. We're going to rinse and repeat and do it again.
Beautiful. I'll follow it up with, a person that you've already taken, Chase Briscoe. That was my bonus pick all week. Denny Hamlin was a close second. I mean, I was, like you said, it's weird to get to a JGR and I'd probably rank Chris Bell last, which, obviously if he doesn't finish last this week out of the JGR cars, I'm also not surprised, but it's just that's how good these 4 guys are here. So give me Chase Briscoe. Everything we talked about earlier was my first bet of the week. Just an absolute killer on this track. And he's been waiting for this. So just has to get the finish, not make a penalty, no crazy stuff. Just do it, man. And he's done it here multiple times, multiple teams too. Tino, what do you got here?
Well, I logged on, got online to do the draft, but then I also logged in somewhere else to the right of me here. As you can see, I have the best site of all time, wintherace.info. And I put in tracks for drivers that could be potentially useful for this week. Bristol, Darlington, Dover, Homestead, Vegas, Nashville. 6 different tracks, tire wear on some, same track, similar track type, all these different things computing into my mind. Who's at the top of the list when we put in all those numbers and run all the simulations? But not just at the top of the list. This driver, who I utilized in this position last week, which won me the draft, nets out at a 7.77 average running position. 777 bingo bonus lucky Vegas winner. Denny Hamlin goes back to back. I've never seen a clearer sign than this. 777 for average running position after putting in 6 different track types into the track best site there is to find myself a winner and find myself a way to be different and get a little extra points. I mean, that's the sign clear as day. I'm looking forward to it. You talk about all those things. You add in the fact that pit crew going out last, top spot, probably will win the poll and have that extra added incentive to pick him. I love everything about Denny this week. I think he goes back to back.
That was beautiful. I haven't seen you that red since you were super sunburnt on that one show last year that we did. It's like Red Tino. Phil, what do you have here? You got the ball is in your court. You already have Denny. Where are you going here?
Yeah, I got Denny, and I'm calling out. Somebody called it out at the beginning of the show. I think Brian was on to me, but we'll go with the theme of red. Since Tino was just turning red, how about the driver that is absolutely red hot to start the year, Tyler Reddick? He is just on fire to start the year. We're going to a track that the greatest site of all time, as Tino just said, Your Honor. This is the website that says he has the highest percentage chance to win the race this year. This is a driver who is first in average finish, first in top 10, 6 out of the 8 races, first in average running position, first in driver rating, first in average starting position at this racetrack. That's very important because in the draft, when you have a bonus driver, you need him to rack up stage points when you can get it. And it's his track, his style of track, ripping the wall. This is what we're looking for. And, it's St. Patrick's Day yesterday, the running of the gingers. He's a ginger, red hair, everything. Reddick, lock it down. 45 car in the bonus slot. I think that is going to be the difference here for this week for my roster. So that's how we do it.
Beautiful. I love this draft. Look at this draft board. This thing's beautiful. We do have we got Zane sweep. Denny sweep, but in 2 bonus slots, that doesn't really count. Busher sweep, Hocevar sweep, Chastain sweep. So a lot of like 2v2s throughout all 4 teams here. This is going to be very interesting to track. And I can't wait to log in to win the race too. Like after the week, I put the scores in and I just started like looking at team scores. Like some dude just scored a ton. We had a new guy jump up to the lead this week, scored like 335 or 338 or something like that. So it's just fun to log in there and see what was going on in different people's heads heading into the weekend. Cool. This is great. Chris, I'm going to kick it to you real quick. We're over an hour, so we're going to say our goodbyes, but please let everyone know where they can find all of your great content. And I look forward to talking to you again in Discord tonight and into the weekend. So thank you for being on here, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, of course. Thanks for having me. This is always a blast. I love being on here with you guys. You can find our picks over at flag_hunting on X. So I do a Saturday sweat card for qualifying on Saturdays, typically a race card on Sunday. Ian will put out this morning, Ian put out his PJ picks for this week. So that's what we have on the X. And then I'm actually in a rotational role, helping out Seth and Elliot over on In Between Media on the back road. I'm a rotational host over there, and I'm kind of helping out with some stuff on the back end for running some numbers for them as well. So you can find me over there a little bit this year. And yeah, just excited for the weekend and potentially going to be down there. I'm going to see if I can make it happen. It's too exciting to not go. Like with all the talk that's been happening, I feel like I just kind of have to do it.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome, man. I hope you make it there. Thanks again for coming on. Tino, I'll kick it to you. Let everyone know where they can see you this weekend.
Yes, sir. Well, appreciate you, Chris. I mean, awesome job once again. Appreciate the chat all night, letting us know their thoughts, giving us some picks and plays and questions and everything in between. So appreciate the laughs and the good moments and chats, and Big Raw saying it, hit the like on the way out. Definitely do that. So you can find me at Tino, PATTIGNO. Post clips throughout the weekend. I'll be on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Tubi TV, NASCAR app, wherever you want to find my best bet segment. That'll be on there on Friday morning and all throughout the weekend up until practice and qualifying. So just giving the lines, saying some plays I like as well there. But ultimately, we'll hopefully have a good race. I think we did a really good job about trying to get down these drivers and track types that we don't know what to expect to potentially predict it here this weekend. So, and Zach, Team 54, we ride. I know I said I was nervous to hop on the train, but I'm in, and I think he has a good weekend in the Sirius XM car. I mean, come on, that's like I had to.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're on it with real money, real money. So let's do it. Phil, where can everyone find all your great work with trucks coming up too? I mean, just what a weekend.
It's going to be great. You can find my podcast, the Full Tank Phil podcast, and at Full Tank Phil on Instagram for the race day card. I mean, I'm glad you guys are joining the Ty Gibbs train because I'm already on it. I hit that for a top 10 on race day last week, so I can't be mushing them this week. It's not me that's going to mush them. I don't know. Should we let them on, Zach? I don't know if we should, but yeah. And trucks this week, the YouTube channel. Hopefully we get a good card together there, waiting for some lines to drop, but I'm so excited for Friday night. Trucks are back, and the fact that it's Friday night is just even better. So hope everyone has a great, successful weekend, betting money down on these races, and we'll see you next week. I appreciate everybody.
Awesome. And yeah, I mean, I get lost hosting and trying to enter in all these picks and everything. Like, holy shit, at the comments. Like, we got a lot of good chatter tonight. So thank you guys. Awesome. You guys make it, all worthwhile here every Wednesday night. So much fun hearing what everyone has to say and everyone's opinion on the race coming up this weekend. So appreciate you all the data that I look at that most of us, use throughout the weekend, wintherace.info. Come check it out if you're into having fun with some NASCAR data. So wintherace.info. Good luck this weekend at Darlington. We will see you next week.